Welcome to the Dating Kinky Podcast, a cast about love, sex, romance, and kink. Today's Throwback Thursday is inspired by someone finding a writing of mine about 2 weeks ago on FetLife. Their comment and the subsequent conversations brought another 800 or so loves and 100 plus comments to a post from February 5th, 2019. And I get it. It's an important topic and one so many people can relate to, so I'm thrilled to bring it back to life here on the podcast today for you. When men don't want sex. And yes, I realize my title is pretty damn sexist, because by highlighting the word men like that, I'm making it clear that that is the important word. And it's important because it's not what we expect. Because men always want sex, right? Last year, I read an article about a woman who had a sexless marriage, not because she didn't want it, but because her husband didn't. If I'd read that 10 years ago, I would have felt vindicated. Back then, though, I felt utterly alone because I had the higher sex drive in every relationship I'd ever had. Every single one. I was shamed for it. I was told what I wanted was unnatural, unrealistic, that sex was not supposed to last forever, that wanting it only a few times a month was right, and I was obviously broken for wanting more. This quote really spoke to me. I was embarrassed when my attempts at rekindling the magic, things like sleeping naked or trying to schedule date night sex, fell flat. In fact, I wrote about a particularly hurtful scene the night I tried to be sexy, almost 3 years ago, to exorcise my demons. And to be fair, I did my own shaming in return. Yes, it was out of defense. No, that's no excuse. What kind of man doesn't want sex? Maybe you should get checked out. Maybe it's all the drinking. Perhaps you should work out again. You never had this problem when you were keeping fit. I imagine this sums it up. In the writing, I shared a meme of a dog laying very still and nervous with a large toy velociraptor on top, with the words, "When you get a chick who has a sex drive twice as high as yours." I think it's very much a case of be careful what you wish for. Research suggests, though, that this is natural. Men are often the first to go off sex in long-term relationships thanks to unhappiness, insecurity, and fears about losing their freedom, depression, erectile dysfunction, a dull sex routine, and stressors of finances and children. It blows apart a popular belief that women's sex drive fails first, or that women naturally don't want sex, which I've argued more than once. In fact, I've written 2 pieces on it. Women don't want sex as much as men? The problem with women don't want sex as much as men. And you know what else it does? It puts men on the receiving end of sexual harassment and shaming. I saw a meme a few days ago. I didn't save it. I tried to find it this morning and searched for a long time with no luck. It was the story of a young man who was aggressively approached with sex by his date and went along with it to maintain his image, and then found himself stuck in a cycle. Now he wonders if he will ever feel sexual interest, even when he meets the one, because all he really knows is coerced sexuality. And that's common enough that there are memes for that too. In the writing, I included a meme with a scene of Game of Thrones, with Jon Snow yelling, and the words, "When she tells you to come over to watch Game of Thrones, and 2 minutes into the episode, she grabs your dick." When women don't want sex, no means no. In fact, that works for pretty much every gender except men, as many men are shamed for saying no to something as manly as wanting sex. Don't worry, boys are supposed to be like this. Hell yeah, I wish I'd been molested by my 2nd grade teacher. She was a hottie. You're hard. You obviously want it. In the writing, I included a meme showing a young woman and a young man. Over the young woman are the words professional counseling, support groups, and support from family and friends. Over the young man, it says, suck it up. And yes, some of it is man against man assault, but not all of it. Need more? In the writing, I linked to an article titled 62 Male Sexual Assault Survivors Share Their Stories, and They'll Break Your Heart. Men are allowed to not want sex. Men are allowed to say no and not have it affect their manliness. Men have different levels of sexual drive, just like everyone else. Men are not defined by their junk or how that all works. Men don't deserve for this to be swept under the rug. 1 in 6 men having been sexually assaulted or abused is too damn high. And it's not okay because they are men. I know too many men who have suffered these things. And while I have never assaulted a man, I have certainly shamed a few in my time. And for that, I'm sorry. Thank you for joining me today. If you loved this episode, please share it with others who would enjoy it. And please do join me on our new apps available in the Google Play and Apple App Stores. Dating Kinky. It's built by Kinksters, for Kinksters, poly, queer, trans folk, and anyone not quite vanilla. And it's free. Find me on FetLife as Nookie Notes, and on Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, Facebook, and Medium as Dating Kinky. We're on Instagram as Dating Kinky Official, all one word. Also, find me on the new Moan app in beta for iPhone. I'm Miss Nookie there. TheMonapp.com. Have a kinky day, and I'll catch you next episode.